Hello and welcome to your weekly dispatch, where we give you a rundown of news stories of national, regional, and international significance. Here's what stood out for us this week. Civil unrest in Gilgit Baltistan in the wake of heightened sectarian rhetoric following the passage of the Criminal Laws Amendment Bill. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister's announcement of up to $50 billion investment from Saudi Arabia and the UAE in the next 5 years. India gears up to host the G20 summit in the backdrop of conflicting positions of member states on pertinent geopolitical and climate issues. And lastly, we're covering the link between rising public health concerns stemming from climate vulnerability in Pakistan and the region at large, facing compound crises at an unprecedented scale. In recent days, away from the spotlight of mainstream media, Gilgit Baltistan has been witnessing a troubling situation. Demonstrations and counter-protests have erupted in the mountainous region, resulting in the blockage of key roads and shutdown of mobile internet services. Although the initial trigger for these protests was a controversial statement made by a religious leader from one particular school of thought. Following protests in Chalas and other areas, authorities registered a case against this cleric. Subsequently, protests spread to Skardu and other towns in support of the said religious leader. The cause of the sudden turn of events in Gilgit Baltistan is the passage of the Criminal Laws Amendment Bill. For some scholars and legal experts, this legislation has breathed new life into sectarian discourse that had been largely dormant. Fortunately, there are signs of improvement and normalcy. The region's chief minister has engaged with both religious clerics on both sides, who have pledged to maintain peace. The caretaker Federal Information Minister has stated that the area is experiencing peace and stability, clarifying that the military's presence has been limited to maintaining peace during Chehlam. Gilgit Baltistan serves as a remarkable source of soft power for Pakistan, boasting its breathtaking landscapes and majestic mountains, notably the renowned K2. Additionally, it holds strategic significance as the entry point for the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar made a significant announcement revealing that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have committed to investing substantial $50 billion into Pakistan over the next 5 years. Prime Minister Kakar emphasized that this substantial financial commitment from Saudi Arabia and the UAE forms a pivotal component of Pakistan's new strategy for economic revival. This strategy aims to augment foreign direct investment in the country and is said to be overseen by the recently established Special Investment Facilitation Council. The urgency for such investments is underscored by Pakistan's pressing financial challenges. With a population of approximately 241 million, the nation is in dire need of foreign exchange to service international debts and address the mounting trade deficit in the ongoing fiscal year. To secure financial support and meet the requirements set by the International Monetary Fund, Islamabad has embarked on long-awaited economic reforms. However, these reforms have resulted in a significant hike in energy prices, coinciding with an already high inflation rate of around 29%. These tough measures have sparked widespread protests across the country, with citizens grappling with inflated electricity bills and soaring fuel costs. And right next door, India is all set to host the G20 summit in New Delhi from September 9th to 10th. This summit takes place amid rising tensions around the world, from Ukraine to the Indo-Pacific. The Group of 20 forum, consisting of the world's 20 largest economies, was established in 1999 to foster discussions on global economic and financial stability. Together, these nations represent approximately 80% of the world's economic output, nearly 70% of global exports, and about 60% of the global population. The G20 summit holds great significance as it offers Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi the chance to position India as a prominent global player. Moreover, it serves as a platform for Modi to enhance his diplomatic standing, especially as he gears up for a re-election next year. While most of the world leaders will attend the G20 in New Delhi, the absence of Russian President Putin and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping will be conspicuous. While India claims it would use this platform to act as a bridge between the global north and south, conflicting geopolitical positions of member states on the Russia-Ukraine war, Indo-Pacific, and climate change will make any consensus on important issues extremely difficult. The world will be watching closely as the leaders convene to address global challenges and seek common ground amid a complex geopolitical landscape. And now for our feature story. Pakistan is the epicenter of a global wave of climate-related health threats, according to a groundbreaking report by the Washington Post in collaboration with Carbon Plan, a non-profit organization. The report used cutting-edge models and vast data sets to offer the most up-to-date predictions on the frequency of intense heat conditions that could pose health risks to people in nearly 15,500 cities. Among the hardest-hit regions was Pakistan, known for enduring some of the most intense heat on the planet. The analysis revealed that over 40 million people in Pakistan would confront dangerous heat for more than half of the current year. And in Pakistan, the dangers seem to compound in a disturbing sequence. First, the nation grappled with a record-breaking heat wave starting in March, followed by devastating forest fires. Record-high temperatures accelerated glacier melting, causing flash floods, and subsequently, heavy monsoon rains triggered unprecedented floods, claiming 1,700 lives and displacing 2 million households, and additionally damaging 13% of the country's healthcare infrastructure. In the Sindh province, healthcare professionals observed a distressing rise in miscarriages for low birth weight babies and reduced breast milk production, which they attributed to stress from the floods and soaring summer temperatures. The number of low birth weight babies also witnessed a drastic surge. In last week's dispatch, we covered a University of Chicago study linking poor air quality to a reduction of up to 5 years in the average lifespan, further adding to the public health impacts of climate change affecting the region, including Pakistan. Adding to the crisis are the instances of insect-borne diseases. Hospitals reported an unusual influx of malaria patients between February and June, a period not typically associated with peak malaria season. Following the floods, Pakistan experienced over 3 million suspected malaria cases, up from 2.5 million in 2021, according to the World Health Organization. This outbreak was exacerbated by standing water and other conditions conducive to mosquito breeding, reversing decades of progress in reducing malaria cases. The grim prognosis painted a dire picture for Pakistan's future. The research projected that higher temperatures could result in a staggering 150,000 additional deaths annually by 2040 unless the country significantly improved its wealth and adapted to frequent bouts of extreme heat. With a rising death rate of 50 per every 100,000, Pakistan's situation ranked amongst the worst globally, rivaling some of Africa's least developed and highly climate-vulnerable regions and the Middle East. I am Hajira Asaf Khan, and this was your weekly dispatch.